Hi, how are you? How are you? Hi, Katrina. I'm having a wild hair day. Sometimes you just have to go with it. All right. So the other thing that I do is give myself a couple of likes. I just like to give myself some love. Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing? Hi, Taylor. Hi, Amanda. How are you? So we're going to do an energy check-in and talk a little bit about spirituality, and then we're going to do a global meditation. Okay, so it'll start off with just some check-ins and some cards and stuff like that, just to check in with the energy. And like I said, then we will do the global meditation. All righty. And there. Good enough. We got some likes on both of them. All right. Well, while people are getting ready to show up, I'm going to move my keyboard out of the way as I have some space for other things. And that's much too low. There, that's better. That's better. All righty. How are you? I'm going to set these here, actually. All right. I need a pen. Which one? Good morning. I don't know if that one's definitely not going to be a good enough pen. I need a pen. I think I have one in here. No, that one will probably work. Good morning. Good morning. How are you? So I'm just going to hang out here for a minute until everyone gets together, and then we'll start talking about things. And knock that one completely over. All right. You can breathe with me. Hi. What I'm doing right now is I'm doing a channeled writing. So I started off, I did a couple of deep breaths. I connected into my center, and then I just asked for a message for the collective, and I write what comes out. And that's what I was doing right at this moment. And while I was waiting for people to show up, we're going to talk about spirituality, but from the embodied space of spirituality. I've had so many. I'm going to read the first chapter from the book that I'm writing, and that will give you a really big understanding of what I'm talking about. So I'll read that. I love me, and God loves me, right? And my children and my mom and even my brother loves me. we may butt heads, but he still loves me. Lots of people loves me. But thank you. I'm sure that someone loves you as well. And I hope, if anything, that you love you, like more than anything, right? That's the most important thing. It doesn't matter what anyone out there thinks or feels about you. It matters what you think and feel about you. Because if I know who I am, right? If I know who I am and I love and accept myself, then nobody can do anything to me. It doesn't matter what anyone thinks of me. When they think of something, when they think something negative of me, it just bounces off, because I know who I am, because I love me, and because I'm confident and secure, right? The whole thing that we're doing in this world, in this life that we've done, is we come in here and we get all these traumas and all these circumstances that happen at ages when we don't have any control over it. So at ages where we actually become victimized. Then we become adults who believe that we're victims. So we allow ourselves to continue to be victimized until we realize, hey, wait a second, these patterns are showing up and I don't like that. And you start to go within and you start to look at yourself and you start to realize, hey, all of these things that happened, they made me wear a mask. They made me change all of these things so that I could fit in. But that's not who I really am. And the journey is the return to yourself, or the return to your center, which is what we're talking about today, is the return to center. Okay. So I'm going to read a little bit. I'm going to read that first chapter, like I said, from the book. I was going to channel a message, but I got part of it written down. But let's see, and I'll see why I want to write this book. Okay. Okay. Chapter 1. I'll pull out the 4 pages, the front pages. And cheers, people. 10-10, guys. All right, chapter 1. This is from the book I'm writing called Embodied Spirituality. Hi, Carol. I'm just going to read that chapter I read to you yesterday to everybody. All right. Okay. The Great Chapter 1. This is embodied spirituality. I'm on TikTok as well. So if you're on the other channels, you'll see me on TikToks, and sometimes I'm interacting with the with the gifts that they're sending. So it might not make sense on the non-YouTube channel, the non-TikTok channels. It won't make sense on YouTube. Okay. So this is from the book Embodied Spirituality, which I'm not sure when I'll have it ready by, but it's a grounded path to intuition, presence, and spiritual connection. And chapter 1 is called The Great Forgetting: How We Became Disconnected from Ourselves. I do not believe most people are broken. In fact, one of the greatest tragedies of our time is how many genuine, good, caring, intelligent people have been convinced that there is something fundamentally wrong with them. They spend years trying to fix themselves, heal themselves, improve themselves, optimize themselves, and transcend themselves, all while carrying a quiet belief that who they are right now is somehow not enough. I understand this because I have walked that path myself. Like many people drawn to spirituality, healing, and personal growth, I spent years searching. I searched for understanding. I searched for truth. I searched for answers to questions that seemed larger than the physical world around me. I explored teachings, philosophies, practices, and traditions that promised greater awareness, deeper wisdom, and a more meaningful connection to life. Many of those explorations brought tremendous value into my life, yet over time, I began to notice something curious. The more people talked about awakening, the less they seemed to talk about being human. The more people talked about transcending the body, the less they seemed to understand the body's wisdom. The more people talked about ascending beyond suffering, the less equipped they often were to sit with grief, uncertainty, vulnerability, or emotional pain. It was as though spirituality had become something that existed somewhere above life rather than something that could be lived within it. I began to notice the same pattern everywhere. People were learning how to meditate, but not how to rest. They were learning how to access expanded states of consciousness, but not how to regulate their nervous system. They were learning how to connect with guides, higher selves, and universal wisdom while remaining profoundly disconnected from their own bodies. Eventually, I realized they were all pointing toward the same thing. We had forgotten ourselves. Not our names, not our identities, and not our attachments. We had forgotten how to be in relationship with ourselves. We had forgotten how to listen. What strikes me most is that the great forgetting did not happen all at once. There was no single moment when most people consciously decided to abandon themselves. Instead, it happened through thousands of small moments. A child learns that certain emotions are unacceptable while others are not. A teenager learns that belonging is easier than authenticity. An adult learns that productivity is rewarded more consistently than presence. A parent learns to care for everyone else's needs before their own. A leader learns to carry responsibility while quietly ignoring exhaustion. None of these experiences seem significant on their own, yet over time they accumulate, layer upon layer, year after year, until many people reach a point where they no longer know the difference between who they truly are and who they learned they needed to be. The roles became so familiar that they begin to feel like identity. The masks become so practiced that they begin to feel like truth. The adaptations became so normal that they become invisible. When everyone is disconnected, disconnection begins to look normal. When everyone is exhausted, exhaustion begins to look normal. When everyone is overwhelmed, overwhelm begins to look normal. I almost skipped one. Many people spend years attempting to solve this discomfort by changing the external circumstances of their lives. They search for the right relationship, the right career, the right teacher, the right practice, the right community, the right healing modality, or the right spiritual path. No external accomplishment can create an internal relationship. No amount of achievement can replace presence. No amount of productivity can replace connection. No amount of recognition can replace belonging to yourself. The body feels this. The nervous system feels this. The heart feels this. The body is remarkably honest. It knows when we are present. It knows when we are abandoning ourselves. It knows when we are overriding our needs in order to meet expectations. It knows when we are forcing ourselves forward despite exhaustion. And because the body is always participating in our experience, it continues communicating, not as punishment, not as failure, but as communication. The body is continually attempting to bring us back into, hi, sorry. I wanted to say hi. Kept interrupting myself just because I saw you come in. Hello, how are you? The body is continually attempting to bring us back into relationship. This is where my understanding of spirituality began to change. I stopped asking how to transcend the human experience. I stopped asking how to rise above the human experience. I stopped asking how to become something other than human. And I began to ask a different question. What if the path is not asking me to leave my humanity behind? What if the path is asking me to fully inhabit it? What if spirituality is not about escaping the body? What if it is about listening to it? What if it is not about suppressing emotion? What if it is about developing the capacity to feel? That question changed everything, because spiritual beings having a human experience does not mean overriding the human experience. It means bringing awareness to it. As the first chapter of my book that I'm writing called Embodied Spirituality, it means marrying the spirit into the body. It means bringing heaven to earth through the way we live, breathe, listen, create, love, and care for ourselves and one another. Perhaps the great forgetting is not ultimately a story about loss. Perhaps it is a story about remembrance. A story about returning to the parts of ourselves we were taught to leave behind. A story about rebuilding trust with the body. A story about learning how to listen again. a story about coming home. Because what has been forgotten can be remembered, and every journey of embodiment begins with the same simple step: not becoming, remembering. And so all you're doing is remembering who you were before the layers of crap got put on top. Right? Because what you were always perfect. There was nothing ever wrong with you. I'm going to try to keep this in the right order so I don't mess up my book. Right? There was never anything wrong with you. Last night, okay, so I've talked about this before about how I can see the field of consciousness. I can see the ether element. I can see how everything is held together. I can see how I can see God, because that's what the ether element is. And that's why they took it from the pure, like they took it away, right? Why they told us there was only 4 elements and not 5, because that 5th element is the biggest element of them all. And when we forget about something, when we're not aware of it, then we can't see it, right? So that's, the movie Coco, I keep coming back to that, the movie Coco, because in Coco, there was a significant part where the guy that was, he was already passed on, and Coco, they went to him, and the guy, did you want to, give me 1 second, I gotta let my dog in. Cass? I'll let you in. I'll move your bed over. We're not meditating yet, so you can come in. Hey, baby. Aw, I'm sorry I shut you out. Give me 1 sec, guys. Okay. I had to run and get, hi Lisa. I had to run and get, I had to plug the kettle in again. I overslept today. Oh my goodness. Like really overslept. I was like, oh my goodness. And I was running around to get ready for the live, but here we are. So yes, to that, right? Then we've blocked ourselves. That good one. my one live is like my one up there is lagging, so I'm just waiting for it to connect back in and stop. Okay, there we go. All right. I slept in. Hi, Carol. How's your Saturday? Hi, Mums. Hi. What are you doing this morning? This day? What are you doing on your lovely Saturday? Carol, she's my co-pilot in the Balanced Self Sanctuary group. Yeah. The weather here has, it's our yay spring in Alberta. It's been cloud and rain and cooler temperatures for sure. Been poopy. So the thing that I don't even know, guys. I just don't even know. Last night I actually cried. I had a moment where I just I was going to bed and I was looking at myself and I was just like, thank you for being normal. Right? And this might make some of you cry. It might hit you because I can feel it, right? So I want you to think about creating something, right? Can you imagine creating something that's perfect? And then you put it out there, and all these people try to change it and, you know, tell you it has to be this way and that way. And then you start to believe it. You start to think what you are or how you are is anything less than perfect in the eyes of the Creator. So then we have people out there that are nipping and tucking and cutting and augmenting and doing all of these things. And it's like, that's like somebody handing you we're just taking and destroying it. I was like, I was so happy to just be normal, to not, you know, like I've never, you know, I've never had any plastic surgery. I've never, you know, done anything like that. I'm not, you know, like I don't beat up my body. I'm not, you know, like I'm not looking at like all these different, like it's just living in that normality and being human is what it came to. At the very end, I realized what it was, is I was actually crying because I know that God is happy that you are human and that you embrace that humanity and that you're normal. And, you know, there's nothing wrong with this at all, ever. It doesn't even matter if you're like, oh, I'm not pretty by whatever conventional standards they're trying to shove at our faces, right? But remember that beauty standards change all the time, right? Back in, you know, at one point you had to be like pencil thin, like the Twiggy era. Another time it's voluptuous and curvy. Another times, you know, it's whatever, right? I remember one year I was so mad because my hair is so big. I have big hair. And because it was a fad where everyone was going through where they had super thin, you know, tiny hair. And I'm like, yeah, good luck. Good luck. So, right. And I remember I was just so, I want my hair so flat. I want it so straight. Right. And it's like, because they're always, if you're not careful, then you're always looking outside of yourself at everything out there, thinking that something here is lacking and something out there is better and that you need to be that. But you don't. The only thing you've ever needed to be is you and all your glory, and just love yourself. Like literally that's that easy. And it's, you know, people, well, that seems so, it's not, it's really not. We are not meant to jump out of our spirit, right? Like I know that the human experience is challenging and it's tough. And, you know, trust me, I've been through the ringer of life myself numerous times. So I understand the challenges of life, but the whole point of our pathway here is not to ascend out of our body. The whole point of it is for us to bring our spirit fully into our body and walk it on this earth. And that's how we bring God to earth. He's already here. He's around us all the time, listening and talking to you in so many ways, guiding you all the time, protecting. Like, oh my goodness, the protection that is above you that you don't even realize, right? It's really profound when you have the experience, when you can see the ether element, when you can see the field of consciousness and you can interact with it. Like I have the pleasure of doing on occasion. It's unbelievable. And I'm going to keep working on it, because how do we restore relationship? Because that's what I was talking about with the book, right? How do we restore relationship with Coco? When that person, you know, when they were down there, when he was with the dude, like his dad, that was actually like the grandfather, sorry, he was with the grandfather and they were talking to the guy. I think it was when he was the guitar, the guy was in, and they had like the drink or whatever with the guy. And then he faded away because the last person who remembered him died. So when they died, nobody alive was there to remember him or to put his pictures up anymore. So he vanished from the underworld. It's the same thing that like they're telling us all the time. You should watch Coco. Watch it. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful show. Mm-hmm. And then you'll understand. So when they go down into, you know, like the docks or whatever to meet the one guy, and the last person remembers him, he fades away permanently. And there's all kinds of truth that we see in movies and in TV and stuff, right? So this is a truth. When the last person remembers you or forgets you, and that's what the whole thing is. What the whole thing is, and that's happening is that this realm, this world right now is trying to get us to forget God. Because when the last person remembers God, when the last person like forgets, then that doesn't exist, right? Then they can be the God. So it's important for all of us to remember. Does that make sense? And that sacred relationship is there for everybody all the time, which is why I keep talking about the 5 elements and how important it is to have a relationship with Mother Gaia, to have a relationship with the elements. So start talking to the elements, start working with the elements, have sacred relationship with your water. Every time I drink my water, I'm always thinking positive thoughts. Yeah, it's quite incredible. I need to go finish making that tea that I went to make because, like I said, I slept in. So that was my first tea, and I still feel like I'm like a little sleepy. But what I was saying was about the as well. I was channeling a ladder because I didn't do that this morning because I slept in. And I had started channeling a letter. And I just have to say that the only thing that came out so far was, if only you could see yourself through my eyes. And if only you could see yourself through the eyes of the Creator and know how perfect the Creator thinks that you are. In your authenticity, in your core, in the way that, in exactly who and what you are. And at every moment, proud of you for what you're doing, for everything. And the only thing that the Creator wants is to be interacted with and remembered and thanked. Oh my goodness. When you thank the Creator for the things that you have in your life that you love, and you show appreciation through the sacred relationship of caring for it, the Creator wants to give you more. He's like, oh, you're thankful for that? Here, have some more. You're thankful for that too? Have some more. You're grateful for that? More. Like, this literally how it works. So be grateful. Be grateful for everything that you have. Even the things that you don't like, because oftentimes those things that you don't like are teaching you the biggest lessons and giving you the biggest growth and returning you the most to home, right? Returning you the most back to your home. And that's yourself, right? That's remembering that you don't have to change and be something different, right? It's just, yeah, it was so profound to have the experience that I've had in interacting with it. And I'm going to keep working on that relationship so that I can interact with it all the time and that I can see it all the time. And I do see it subtly, but not like I do at certain times. At certain times I can see it and like it's physically there and it's so huge. But other times I'm just seeing it as subtle waveforms in the air. And like I can see that the air is not still. The air is moving. And many of you probably have that too. There's lots of us when we look at the world, or when we look out there, where we see like squiggles or like static. That's because your field of vision is wider than the normal field of vision, and you're picking up the subtle field of consciousness in the background. You're seeing it because it's moving. It's sacred geometry. It's alive. The field is alive. The field is alive. And it's interacting with you, whether you realize it or not. When we were talking, like long time ago when I first was doing this, and we talk about manifestation and stuff like that. And, like manifestation, a big part of it is just one, your belief system. Because if you don't believe, if you don't know, it's not even about believing, but if you don't know, right? Kind of, yeah. Actually, that's what the subtle field, when you start to see it more. I realized in my one book yesterday, but I have it out there, so I don't want to go and get it. But I have to go get my tea anyway, so maybe I'll grab it. But in the one book, it shows it for the kids' book. Yeah, in the kids' book I have, it has like swirly, it has an example of that kind of energy. So Yeah, let me go get my coffee, or not my coffee. Oh my goodness. I didn't sleep great when I'm asking about coffee. I haven't had coffee in years. I'm going to go make my tea. I'm going to go make my tea. Kinda. That's exactly how it looks when, like right now. And sometimes a little more, like I can pick up more of it, especially around life forms, like around like a person, I can see it around them more, or plants, definitely around plants. I can see their energy field. But it's the same as everything. You just have to do it. If you want to have it, you have to do it. Right? So if you want to have a relationship, right? Like people, they look at certain things, like look at Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee was absolutely one with the elements. Bruce Lee had a wonderful relationship with the air element, with water, with, like, that man was so fluid, and the things that he could do, and the reason why he could, right? The reason why he could put his hand up and go boom and knock you flying is because he commanded the elements in relationship. And that's so because he did the work, right? And like people for a while there, it became like super popular that everyone was doing, we're going to do telekinesis. And you can see people on TikTok and all over the place that are pushing pieces of tin. You can see people, like there's this one guy, he's like floating like a napkin, right? And moving a napkin around. And it's because he's interacting with air and ether and the field, right? So, but the reason why he can do that is because he did it. He did it. He interacted with it, right? So it's like you can't, you're not just like, I think like people were sold so much, they want the quick fix, right? Nobody wants to do the actual practice, the actual work. They just like, come on, can somebody just turn me on? Can somebody just come and flip a switch and tell me, hey, you have telepathy now, or hey, you can play with fire now. You got whatever. That's not the way that it works. Right? Like, and what you learn in the process of walking the path is what's going to reveal the next step in the path, right? We unroll the path as we walk it, but we only walk it by doing the things that we need to do. We don't walk it by someone going, oh, I'll just pick you up and, oh, do you want to be over here on that path? Here, I'll just move you over there and I'll sit you right down there. The only one that can move you is you. So you need to move you. Otherwise, you're just letting life happen to you, right? You want to be in control of it. Maybe another time I'll read the second chapter in the book or something else from the book. Yeah, maybe we'll read discernment. Chapter 2 is discernment, grounding, and spiritual safety. That's a good one. This is my rough draft, guys, just to be fair. Some of it I was smart and printed both sides, and then there were a couple spots where I just printed one side. But yeah, maybe we'll read that as well. And we do have our meditation to do. So let me go make that tea that I was going to go make. I'll move that out of the way. And then once I have my tea, we can do some other things. But just remember, your message today is, if only you could see yourself through my eyes. Because if you could see yourself through the Creator's eyes, you would know how absolutely perfect you are at 3333. You would know how absolutely perfect you are. Okay? Because you are. Just being you. Exactly who you are. All right, I'm going to go make that tea, and then we'll come back and get doing some other stuff. All right. Water is in the cup. We'll have to leave in like 6 or how many minutes? Set a timer. Carol understands that. Set a timer. Set a timer for the tea. I gotta let it steep, and then I'll go get a little bit of milk in it, and we'll be good to go. All right. Spirituality. I was out there, and I was like, oh my goodness, I have so many. My brain is just. Carol's like, I know. You should hang out with her, see her brain in action. Just. So we were saying, if you could only see yourself through the eyes of the Creator, you would know that you are perfect. And this can ruffle some feathers, but the Creator is not a white dude with the big old bushy white beard that's sitting on a throne judging anybody. That's not the Creator. Not the Creator at all. This will give you a big smile. Right for Carol. I thought about having you pop on and like sit in a box with me, like invite you as a guest. There we go. I can speak. Yeah. But only if you feel up for it, we can have a little. The only problem with doing that, you know what? We'll schedule that for a different time, because it'll have to be a time when we just set it up as one live. Like I'll go live on Sha'Ryah, and you can join me on it then. Because the problem is that I'm streaming on the other channel and Facebook and YouTube, 2 YouTube channels. So because I'm streaming on multiple channels, if I invite you onto this channel, they're the only ones that can see you. Other people would hear you, like if it picks it up, but they wouldn't see you. So that would be a little bit odd in the rest of the recordings. So we'll plan a day for that, and we'll hang out. So maybe tomorrow night, maybe, because it's my 6 o'clock live. So it'll only be 8 p.m. for you. Not a.m., 8 p.m. for you. So that might not be bad if you're up for it tomorrow night. And then that gives you time to prepare, and we're doing it. Okay. So like, I'm grooving to my meditation tunes. All right. I pulled a card. Just the one. I don't even know if I can read this because my eyes are so tired. All right. So 5 of water is the release and emotional healing. In the upright, there's the experience of emotional loss. There may be regret that someone has experienced, disappointment, grief, focusing on what is gone rather than what remains. And it's an opportunity for healing. The 5 of water teaches that loss is a part of the human experience, but it does not define you. Even in the darkest moments, light remains. Look for the hidden blessings and trust that healing is taking place. Okay? All right. That was the one card. All right. Can I get another message? We have to be focusing on the good stuff, right? Not the bad stuff. That was just a miss shuffle. Ooh, okay. Before they all fall out of my hands. All right, we got the 10 of fire. The 10 of fire is a release. This is when we have decided, like it's a very determined tenet, right? 10s are endings and beginnings, right? And every ending is a beginning. It's just another layer. Like even when you die, you're not dying, you're being reborn as your spirit. So you're not actually dying. There's no death. You are eternal. So the 10, I was like, maybe the 4 of wands will come out. The 10 of fire, which is the 10 of wands, right, is the most determined one, right? Like, because this is fire, so this is passion and alignment, and it's like, I am done. I am done. Enough is enough. I am done. And so the 10, it's, like you've been overworked, you like dealing with stress, feeling burdened, you're exhausted, you reaching that point where you're like it's that breaking point, right? Like, it's just, there's a need for you to be looking at the stuff that's going on in your life and go, okay, I need to delegate some of this stuff to somebody else. I need to give this stuff to somebody else. So the 10 of fire wants you, or urges you, more than just wants you, urges you to honor your limits and embrace transformation. It's time to shed the old weight and rise from the ashes renewed. So rise, Phoenix, rise. All right, we got the Knight of Ether that came out as well. The Knight of Ether is unstoppable spiritual momentum, divine mission, activated rapid personal expansion, and the courage to pursue the truth. Are you a truth seeker, or are you content living in the lies? I think we should all be truth seekers. And everyone that speaks the truth. There's something else about that one. Castle just stood up and he's looking out the window like, the heck is this stuff? All right. The Knight of Ether is the celestial traveler, the seeker who moves with the winds of destiny. This card is a call to embrace your mission with passion, trust in divine movement, and surrender to the exhilarating path of ascension. All right, I think that's long enough. I can go get my tea, and Cass wants to go outside too. So there, Cass is outside, and I have my tea. I have my tea. Finally. All right. Who wants to hear chapter 2, or a little bit of chapter 2? Or what do you guys want to do? What are you up for? Do you want me to finish channeling the message? If only you could see yourself through my eyes, you'd know how perfect you are. And the only thing I've ever wanted for you is for you to see yourself fully. Okay. Wrote a little bit more of it down. I love you. I can't wait to have like a we're getting like some thunder bangers and some big rain. We've actually been like, there's a rain warning for like the amount of rain. Oh, hey, wait. You know what? I just noticed that my iPad's not plugged in. Not my iPad, I mean my computer. The battery's dying, guys. See, these things, like me being, come on, get in the hole. There you go. There we go. We're all plugged in now. The battery won't die in the middle of the meditation. All right. Let's talk about a little bit more about spirituality, though. What is going on? Carol, it's a day. It's on a mind of its own today. All right. Embodied channeling, chapter 2. Remember, this is the rough draft, so it's going to have probably be bigger chapters. But to start out with, this is perfect for reading on air. All right, chapter 2, discernment, grounding, and spiritual safety. Why discernment matters. One of the most important skills any person can develop in spiritual practice is discernment. Not fear, not paranoia, and not blind belief. Discernment. Discernment is the ability to observe clearly, to question thoughtfully, to remain open without becoming ungrounded, to explore experience without surrendering critical thinking, emotional awareness, or personal responsibility. Many people enter spirituality searching for healing, connection, purpose, understanding, or relief from pain. And there's nothing wrong with that. But vulnerability without grounding can sometimes lead people into emotional bypassing, dependency, fantasy-based identity, spiritual superiority, obsessive meaning-making, projection, loss of self-trust, nervous system dysregulation, and disconnection from reality. This is why grounding matters. The goal of spiritual exploration is not to become less human. The goal is to become more integrated. A grounded spiritual practice should support emotional honesty, self-awareness, nervous system regulation, compassion, clarity, responsibility, embodiment, healthy relationships, deeper presence, and meaningful action. It is a spiritual practice. If a spiritual practice consistently creates confusion, instability, fear, superiority, isolation, or disconnection from reality, it is important to pause and reassess. Not all experiences need to be interpreted literally. Sometimes dreams are symbolic. Sometimes emotions shape perception. Sometimes intuition is accurate. Sometimes fear speaks loudly. Sometimes the nervous system creates heightened pattern recognition during stress. Discernment asks us to carefully observe instead of jumping immediately into certainty. True groundedness allows curiosity and caution to coexist. Pretty good, hey? So the difference between embodiment and escape. Many people unknowingly use spirituality to avoid the discomfort of being human. This can look like avoiding difficult emotions through constant positivity. We've all seen that. We've all seen that. Love and light, love and light, love and light, right? No. Seeking spiritual highs instead of emotional healing. So those are people that are chasing like all the ceremonies or the big, like just go and have that thing and then come back. But the day to day, they're just, right? It's like Carol knows this one, the Christians, right? The Christians that don't actually go to church, don't actually read the Bible, they're not being very Christian, or unless they do, if they do, it's like, oh, hey, let's go. It's Christmas. Let's go to church. It's Christmas. Right? Right. It's important that we are actually embodying it day to day. It's not what you do in the one moments. It's who you are day after day after day. And trust me, with the field of consciousness always around you, so God's always present with you, you're never alone. So God's always present with you, and in that field of consciousness. So that's what matters, is the consistency. It's not that one day you're a good person is, are you a good person every day? That's consistency. So if you are doing it once, that's hilarious. But I love that it was pink. They couldn't have picked a better color for you. Okay, then you have obsessing over signs, synchronicities, and external validation. Again, we're not, this whole journey isn't a journey out to somebody else, right? The journey is within. It's back to that relationship with you and the intimate relationship that you have with God through the field of consciousness. That's why you don't have to go to church, because God's right here, like right now, right here, around all of us, everywhere. And that's why we're all connected, because that field of consciousness is flowing everywhere, interacting with everything, interacting with your thoughts, your feelings, everything. Okay. Disconnecting from the body. We're not meant to disconnect from the body. We aren't spiritual beings having a human experience so that we can become spiritual beings. We are spiritual beings having a human experience so we can bring our spirit into our body and walk it on the earth. Embodied spiritually, we're embodied spirituality. Like we did not become human to escape being human. That's not the point. That's bypassing grief, anger, fear, or uncertainty. I did that in the beginning, like when I went through my healing thing, and I got caught in that trap for a little bit where I was like, oh, that's a bad feeling. So we'll just go to, I'm happy. And I realized I was just bypassing the emotion. And that's when I started, and Carol remembers this because I've said it a lot of times, you want to feel your emotions, not become them. So, you want to process through them. And the whole thing that we needed to learn along the way was just the healthy way to express them, the healthy way to move through your emotions. Right. And so we learn all these little practices. Okay. There's journaling, there's meditation, there's, like breath work, huge for your nervous system, all of these things. Right. Yeah, that was, but we have to come back to ourselves. We have to come back to that. Like we can't bypass the emotions. We're meant to feel them. And we, in fact, did have a human experience so we could feel this variety of emotions, right? Rejecting ordinary life responsibilities, right? Then there's treating human emotion as low vibe. So low vibe for me. You see that all the time. And I remember like Shaman Durek. I don't know if you know him. He's a content creator. Well, he's a shaman. And, I aligned with some of his stuff because like I also worked with a shaman. And so I was fascinated to continue like following a shaman. And, like I remember some of his content, like he would be talking and he would be like, yeah, if somebody shows up and I don't like the outfit that they're wearing to come to dinner with me, I'm like, no, you can leave or I'll go buy them an outfit so that they can like. And I was just like, what? That's such a weird thing. Aw, thanks. Loves you too. I lost my train of thought. Now I'm singing. I bet Carol could guess what song I'm singing. I was waiting to see if you would guess it. Believing awakening means becoming emotionally unaffected, right? And that's not the case. We're not becoming emotionally numb, right? We are not. That's not the goal, okay? But real embodiment is not emotional numbness. Real embodiment allows us to feel deeply without drowning, to remain grounded during uncertainty, to acknowledge pain honestly, to stay connected to the body, to regulate the nervous system, to remain compassionate towards ourselves and others, to take responsibility in our actions, and to participate fully in life. Why would you be born into Earth to then immediately try to figure out the fastest way to get back to your spirit? Right? Why would we do that? Like there's so many things. Like the spiritual world is beautiful. The spiritual world's amazing. Even when we go beyond, like when we go beyond Earth, right? When we ascend beyond our physical forms and we go back to our spirit, amazing, amazing. But there are things within the spiritual form that are not like, we obviously incarnate for a reason. There's obviously, we want to walk the earth. We want to be one with all of this life. And why? Because of the physical experience. We came here to have a physical experience. So the whole goal is not to ascend out of our bodies back to our spirit. The whole point is to bring our spirit fully into our body and live that. And that's what we need to remember. We're walking ourselves home, and we go home by remembering who we are and returning to ourselves, and remembering the ether element and all the other elements and Mother Gaia and all things that are life. So your whole goal in life should be, if it is honoring life, it is upholding life, it is if it's promoting life, that's what we should be honoring. Anything that's destroying life, that ceases to end life, that thinks that life need, like there's too many people, like any of that stuff, we need to oppose that, right? Anything where there's poisoning, where there's toxins, where it's assaulting the environment, the resources are being, like extracted from the earth. Like we have to oppose those things, right? And so we have to be looking at what is it that's true? What is it that's real? And building that and building it, right? Hi, Shelby. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. I hope you're feeling well. So nervous system and spiritual perception. Many people do not realize how strongly the nervous system influences perception. When the nervous system is dysregulated, exhausted, overstimulated, or emotionally overwhelmed, perception can become distorted. This does not mean a person is crazy. Okay, not that at all. Your perception just becomes distorted. So for example, a hypervigilant nervous system may search constantly for meaning or danger, right? You're scanning your environment. You're hypervigilant. What's going on? What's coming at me? What's going to happen, right? Like you're on guard. There's an opportunity when our nervous system is dysregulated for us to overinterpret coincidence, right? Because we're just really looking for meaning. We can struggle to rest. Many people do. Even when they think they're resting, they're not resting. Okay. Resting is no input. No input. No TV, no phone, no constant chatter, no just be. Just literally be. Go sit outside and just stare at a tree or some birds. Listen to some birds. Go sit by the water and just watch the water. Like we should be resting more. Feel emotionally overwhelmed. So a hypervigilant nervous system may feel emotionally overwhelmed. And I talk about that when you're first in your healing when you're first in your healing journey, when you first step into that. The reason why people hesitate so much is because they feel this big dam of emotions, because there's so many emotions that they have been storing and not releasing. So because of that feeling of emotional overwhelm, many people are like, oh my God, if I start this, like the whole dam's going to break and it's going to wash me away. It's going to be so much. That's not the truth. That's not the case. Okay. You're going to do it the way that we do everything, from one moment to the next, one step at a time, one breath to the next, one moment at a time. That's it, right? It's one to one to one to one. So it's not the whole thing. And you also don't have to walk into every single experience that you had and revisit it to heal it. You just have to go to the core of it and clear that. And I can help you with that. Become highly reactive. Yes, we've seen this where people's nervous systems are dysregulated and they become highly reactive. And this is where I talk about your nervous system elevator, right? So the stressors in your life and your traumas and your belief systems, it's all going to raise your internal stress elevator, right? So where you're sitting with your nervous system at any given moment is the nervous system elevator in your body. You want to have your nervous system elevator at the ground floor. That's rest and digest. That's your immune system functioning. That's your present in the moment. You have a large capacity to handle whatever is coming at you. So that's why we have to have consistent daily practices to keep your nervous system at the ground level. What ends up happening for many of us is we've got trauma, and so we think we're at the ground level because our normal that we've been experiencing it for so long. So what's normal to us, we think is down here when it's in fact here. And we think we have this big capacity to handle things because we're like, I've been through so much. I've had so much trauma. I used to say it too. Man, I was abused pre-birth. And the reason why is because my mom was physically abused while she was pregnant. So as someone that's experiencing physical trauma, like it's experiencing that then in the gestation, and that's, it affects the baby because it means that the whole time that I'm in my mom's belly, my mom is getting stress hormones and, like her body is like big levels of cortisol. And that's why we carry the stuff from our parents. Because when your mom is being carried in her mom, her eggs are forming. So your grandmother, if she's an abused woman while your mom is being carried, your mom's eggs are being formed in a high stress environment with all of those. So then your mom, so you're carrying your grandmother's, and then your mom, whatever she experiences through her gestation, and then you're born with your eggs, giving it to your children. So this is how we generationally transfer trauma, not just how we experience it in the lived experience. Because your eggs are being formed in a high stress environment. So the eggs are affected. And that's when we get things like functional neurological disorder. I was diagnosed with FND, and the reason why I got that is because while I was in gestation, I was under an enormous amount of stress because of the stuff my mom was experiencing as a woman. Do you love you? Do you love you? Okay. So we transition that trauma all the way through those layers, right? We go through from our grandmother to our mother to our, right, the transition of that. So that's how we keep that trauma alive. And we become the people who stop it, right? So I'm healing it for me, but unfortunately, my children still already have it, right? There's once I birthed children before the healing process was done, that they're there, that they're created from those poor little eggies, right? Because women's eggs are all that you have them. The moment that you're born, all your eggs are there, right? We're not making them as we age. Like men are different. The trauma doesn't pass through the males nearly the same way, right? Because sperm is created over a 24-hour clock. You can. You absolutely can. You can walk back because time is an illusion. The only thing that's happening is the current moment, right? The only thing that's happening now is the current moment. And that current moment is constantly unrolling into the next current moment. So everything that has occurred is stored through the field, and it's stored as memory for us to go back and grab the things that we believe we've already experienced. And it contains imagination for what's to come, because it hasn't happened yet, but it's in the unfolding, it is. So when you can sit in this moment and go into your past, you can do that with your children too. I've done it with mine. I'll go in and I'll sit with them in moments when I know I could have done better, and I will be better in those moments. So no different than when I would go into my own traumas and say, what did I need at that moment that I wasn't being given? Oh, I needed an adult to come in and go, you don't touch her, and then offer that protection and that love and that, and allow those emotions to move through. Now I do that, but on the other end, you can do it going in with your children and going, yeah, in that moment, that was a pretty tough moment. Or that's a moment when I should have been tougher. I was codependent, right? So that's a moment when I should have been like, yeah, that's not something that you need to bear. That's not the weight that you need to carry. I don't need to share that information with you. And in sharing that information with you is just going to make you feel like you're responsible for something at an age you shouldn't be responsible for things, right? So you go back in and you have those moments and you have those conversations and you have those talks, and you change those things, right? You change them, you affect it in the present. Hi, Steve. Right. And maybe with that hypervigilant nervous system, we experience those intrusive thoughts more, right? More intensely, because your brain's like, your nervous system is agitated. It's heightened. So you're going to be hearing that a lot. So a regulated nervous system is often better able to observe calmly, reflect clearly, differentiate emotions from intuition, remain present, tolerate uncertainty, and engage in grounded reflection. This is why embodiment practices matter. Meditation alone is not enough if the body feels unsafe. Many people attempt to reach higher states of awareness while disconnected from basic nervous system needs. Sometimes the most spiritual thing a person can do is rest, hydrate, breathe deeply, slow down, eat consistently, step outside, reconnect to the body, seek support, and simplify stimulation. Grounded spirituality includes caring for the human system. Right? Do you agree? So I have a reflection question for you, because this book will have reflection questions in it. Yeah, I'm reading. Hi. I'm reading and talking about spirituality. So have you ever used spirituality to avoid difficult emotions or situations? 11, guys. Oh my God, that tea is so good. So good. All right, I have another question, since you guys didn't want to answer that question. What helps me feel genuinely grounded and connected to my body? What makes you feel genuinely grounded and connected to your body? What makes you feel connected and grounded to your body? Breath work? Yeah, nature, being outside. Right? Connecting with Mother Gaia. Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. All right. Yeah. Okay, let's get ready to do our meditation. I think that we can do that. And then if we decide to talk anymore after the meditation, we'll talk then. Okay. Oh, I found these little things. Okay, so I got these at the dollar store. I don't know if you've seen these. But anyway, this one, it says give it to God. They're little tins, and they have a little notepad in it and a little tiny pencil, like a mechanical pencil. And on the outside it says give it to God, but on the inside it says God is within her, she will not fail. Okay. And you can write your little notes and you leave them in the little tin and you give it, so you're giving it to God, whatever it's such a cute little tin. So do you guys have anything that you want to give? And we'll put it in the prayer box. I have two of them. The other one looks like this. My mom's got one as well. And this one says she is clothed with strength and dignity, and she laughs without fear of the future. It's in my drawer with all my kiddo pictures, my grandkiddo pictures. So do we have anything we want to give over to God today? And by God, I mean the source of all creation. Anybody got any concerns or worries or any things that you want to ask? There. I'm not looking to hook up with anybody on TikTok. So you being single. So I decided I was going to say, I give thanks for my human experience and perfect life, because it is perfect. It's perfect. And I think that's the best thing that we can give right now is thanks. Because trust me, the field wants you to be thankful and to be appreciative of what you have. And when you're thankful, like honestly thankful for and appreciative of the things you have, you will receive more. Absolutely. All right. So let me get my stuff together for the meditation. I got to put my pencil back in the tin or I'll forget it. And then we're going to do a global meditation for unity, peace, love, truth, and moving to our highest harmonic timeline for all. Okay. Oh yeah, and tomorrow, hi Leslie, tomorrow is solstice. And so tomorrow I'm doing a beautiful solstice ceremony. And I was talking about this earlier and really, really asking everyone else to join in it as well. What I plan to do, is have a sacred land marriage. And it's literally marrying Mother Gaia, the elements and the directions. So I've dug a circle in the ground and then correctly with the directions created the northwest, the north and south and the east and west lines across the circle. And the last few days I've been collecting stuff and putting it in like around the circle, and like I've been gifting flowers and other herbs and stuff like that. And so it's a very beautiful thing. I've shared the picture actually with Carol. It's a beautiful little thing. And so I'm going to do this sacred ceremony and I'll record it. I can't do it live over where I chose to have it because I don't get good enough reception over there. So I'm going to record it and then I'll share it. And the night on the Sunday night when I do my live, I will take you guys through that same ceremony, even if you haven't done like what I did with the ground, or like do the little circle or anything. And this is an old Irish tradition. And the whole thing was that the individual who was running the town, right, whoever was the leader, they had to, in a sacred ceremony, marry the earth every year and the elements and stuff, because it was important that they were in sacred relationship with all life. And if they stopped being in sacred relationship with all life, then they were no longer the leader of the community. And so that's what I've decided to do. And I've been talking a lot about the importance of connecting with the elements, with connecting with Mother Gaia and rebuilding sacred relationship with all life. And that's what we're supposed to be doing. Okay. That's the goal, is us to remember that we are sacred and that life is sacred. And right now you're seeing a lot of stuff out there that is telling us that life is not sacred. How dare somebody with lots and lots of money stand on there and tell us that there are too many humans? We're going to create AI and you guys don't have to work, and like we'll just eliminate a bunch. Life is sacred. Life is sacred. Anything that is taking life, judgment needs to fall upon that. And we need to be the ones that oppose anything that opposes life. We need to be against. Okay. We need to be promoting that sacred relationship with all life. Okay. Tea. Got to get myself in that. That's cute. Yeah. All right, give me a second. All righty. I'm almost ready, guys. I'm almost ready. No, right? But it's true. Why are we, like when you think about that, it's one thing. So nicotine's not the issue. The issue is not with nicotine. The issue is the fact that it's not sacred. Tobacco in and of itself is a sacred thing. But we're not, the unfortunate part is that with everything else that's put in it. So when we know that something is shortening our lives and we keep doing it, what do you think that's signaling to Creator? Right? If you don't even think your life is sacred, why should anybody else? It all begins, there's so many ways that it begins. Be sacred with your breath, Have a sacred relationship with the air element. Have a sacred relationship with your speech, right? That's still the air element. So that's how you have sacred relationship with air, right? There's like, when you think about the way that air is, it's your breath. You want to be less stressed, spend more time with the air element in sacred relationship. Deepen your breath, lengthen the exhale. If you want to be in sacred relationship with the earth, look at what you're putting in your mouth. What are you eating? What are you feeding yourself? Is it natural? Did it come from the earth, or is it something that never even saw the light of day and was created in a box, in a factory, and put in another box and shipped across the country, sitting on a shelf, never going bad? Is that what you're like? Are you alive? Right? So if you're alive, why are you not feeding yourself life? You know, so you want to deepen your relationship with the water element, right? Between the earth element and the water element, like the earth element's very practical. When you're having a great relationship with the earth element, then you're going to be doing the things that are responsibilities, right? The earth element would actually get you to be cleaning your house. The water element can get you to clean your house and get you to bathe, right? That's another thing, right? When they say that whole cleanliness is next to godliness, the more that you clean up your house, the more space you have for consciousness. The more space you have in your place, the more space you have for God. It's true. Had all these moments of awakening, realizations where I'm like, oh man. Yeah. I can't wait to have a convo. Okay, guys, we've got music. I gotta make sure we have enough music for the whole length of it. So let's get some music going. Starting it off. All right. So, you know, with the meditation, you want to put your phone in a good spot so it's seated, so that it's not, somehow I bumped my thing. Right. What was I going to say? Okay. Right. We're getting to the meditation. Like, stay on task. Okay. So make sure that your phone is set somewhere, or your device is set somewhere. Not that you're going to fall asleep. You shouldn't anyway. When you're doing this meditation, it's a more of an active meditation, because I want you to be visualizing certain things, and I'm going to be toning a lot. So when I'm toning, that's probably going to keep you awake. My brain's like, okay, put your phone somewhere safe, put yourself somewhere safe. And not, again, because you're going to fall asleep. But sometimes I've been meditating and I'll be like, and you kind of jerk or whatever, right? Or you know, like, or you lose the tone, right? Because you get right into it. So you kind of, you get a little lazy, a little lazy with your muscle tone. So I just don't want you to fall over or hurt yourself. And I talk about this every time. Before we do the meditation, always make sure that you're in a safe space and that you can do the meditation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the time there. All right. The next thing that we're going to do is we are going to close our eyes. We're going to connect inward with this meditation. And let me know too, I want to turn this up a little bit. I feel like it needs to be a little bit louder. But don't want it too loud. All right. Does that feel like a good? Or is it too loud? Because I might lower it. If I was speaking like this, Carol, is that okay? Or do I need to put it down a little bit more? How's that? Is that better? Words. What do you mean with wards? I don't know what you mean. I don't know what you mean, Leslie. We're doing a meditation for unity, peace, love, truth. And I'm using sacred geometry and cymatics. So I don't know what you mean by wards. THC coffee. TH coffee. Oh, you don't go inward? Is that what you mean? You don't go inside? Okay. Anyway, I'm going to get started with the meditation because I've delayed it long enough and I'd like to be done this live at maximum 2 hours. So we're going to just reclaim it. Leslie, no one can take that from you. Nobody can take that from you. Okay. Alrighty. So we're going to get started. And like I said, the first thing that I want you to do is to close your eyes and get ready. Okay. And if this is not something that you want to do, then that's okay. That's okay. All right. Welcome, beloveds. Today, we gather not to impose, not to control, but to become, not to override free will. This is the whole point. We're not doing this global meditation to override anyone's free will. Okay? We are doing this to become coherent resonance within the living field. That's all. So we're going to gather in peace, we gather in love, we gather in truth, and we gather in unity. May this meditation serve all willing and consenting beings, Mother Gaia, all non-speaking life that is aligned with harmony, and the highest timelines available to each soul in accordance with divine law. Okay? So, if you haven't closed your eyes yet, please do. And I want you to take a nice slow breath in through your nose, down into your tummy, up to your chest, pause, and then exhale nice and slowly. Really allow yourself to settle into this moment, to become present with your body and the field. Take another deep breath in through your nose. Pause and release. With each breath, allow yourself to sink deeper into the space that comes up, allowing you to firmly connect with the present moment, your body, with your clarity. And before we transmit outward, we're going to stabilize inward first. So I want you to feel your body. Place your awareness on your feet, touching the ground or wherever they are. Bring your awareness to your seat. Feel it connecting to whatever surface you're seated on. Bring your awareness to your heart space. When you're in the heart space, see that beautiful flame, your eternal flame, glowing brightly. Feel the earth beneath you. Feel the field of consciousness around you. Feel the breath moving through you. Relax your jaw. If it's especially tense, take a breath, and when you exhale, exhale into the tension and think of the word release. Next, move to your shoulders. Release the tension from your shoulders. Lower them from your ears. Maybe move your neck a little, side to side. And once again, if you have a lot of tension in your shoulders, take a nice breath in, and when you exhale, exhale into the shoulders with the word release. Now we're going to relax our belly, soften it. And if you're feeling any tension in your tummy, another breath in. And as you exhale into the space where the tension is, release. There is nothing to force yourself to be. You are perfect. You are exactly where you need to be, and you're exactly who you need to be. Your nervous system is a part of the meditation. Now we're going to bring our awareness back to your heart. With your awareness in your heart space, I want you to visualize a luminous point of stillness in the center. A point before thought, before fear, before separation. This is the still point, the eternal center. I'm going to begin toning now. Allow the tone to move through your body like a wave of peace. Now visualize two spheres of light overlapping. One above, one below. Spirit and matter, heaven and earth, self and source. Where they meet, the Vesica Pisces forms. The almond shape, the intersection of the two circles. This is the geometry of birth, creation, union, coherence. Allow the field to soften. Allow the heart to open naturally. Now the vesica begins expanding outward, forming the flower of origin. Living geometry. Harmonic symmetry. The architecture of interconnected life. See every circle connected, every being connected, every life influencing the whole. Now we send harmony through the emotional waters of humanity and Gaia. See ripples, rings, ripple rings. See rings rippling, moving outward across the earth, through oceans, through hearts, through nervous systems. No force, no control, only harmonic invitation. Now, from the center of the flower, a rose spiral emerges. The harmonic geometry of love. Not attachment, not possession, not emotional control, but coherent love, stable love, living love. May all willing hearts remember coherence. Now, visualize a golden Merkaba surrounding you. Interlocking tetrahedrons. One pyramid up, one pyramid down. Spinning in perfect harmony. Now, see this same geometry around Mother Gaia, around the entire earth. It is also spinning in perfect harmony. The planetary light body stabilizes, as does yours. Now we anchor into Gaia. Visualize golden crystalline lines entering the earth. Feel your energy roots descending into the earth, into crystal, into water, into stone, into soil,
May Gaia stabilize into her highest harmonic expression. Now, above the earth, see a canopy of stars. Ancient suns, living consciousness, cosmic memory. I'm going to go through all of the tones one at a time.
Feel the field settling. Feel peace without force. Love without attachment. Unity without assimilation. And truth without fear. May all transmissions offered today serve only the highest good, divine love, divine truth, divine law, and the sovereign evolution of all willing beings. May Mother Gaia be supported in her highest harmonic expression. May all life move toward greater coherence, peace, and remembrance according to its own sacred path. And so it is. Take a breath. Hold at the top. Release. Feel your body. Feel your feet. Feel your seat. Feel your heart. Feel the earth. Take another breath. Release. And when you're ready, gently return. Hi. Welcome back. How was that? Hi, Char. How are you, Char? Hi. Thank you for the gifts that you gave me and all the love and the TT joining the crew, the heart meet. Look at that. We did it. We got done before noon. It's still a morning meditation. We got done just before my noon hit. All right. Yeah. We'll get you'll come back every Saturday at 10. So typically 2 hours before now is when I begin. And we talk about,
I mean, all kinds of things around spirituality, but sacred relationship, embodied spirituality, entering into sacred relationship with the elements and Mother Gaia and Source, the creator, right? And so the meditation that I do on Saturday is a global meditation, and it is to unite in peace, unity, love, truth, and to also harmonize to our highest harmonic frequency. And I use, like I said, we do sacred geometry, and I do cymatics, so toning. And yeah. So that's our Saturdays. And then the other days we just talk about the other stuff without the meditation, and we do other stuff. Yeah. Awesome. Awesome. I would love to see you next Saturday. Well, I'm back here tomorrow night. Tomorrow's a big day, guys. Tomorrow we have Father's Day. So I do hope that you are spending time honoring the fathers. Tomorrow is also solstice, it's summer solstice. So it is the longest day of the year, is when we officially move into summer in the northern hemisphere, although in the south we were heading into the lovely winter season. So in the south, they would be experiencing their longest night of the year, where we get most of the daylight here. So I will be doing that ceremony, the sacred ceremony. Like I said, I will be, I'm doing a sacred marrying Mother Gaia, the elements and directions, as a part of this sacred relationship that I'm building with life. So I'll be doing that tomorrow. I will record it, earlier, and then I will walk you guys through the same ceremony. But I'm going to do my own personal ceremony and record it. I can't show you guys that at the time that I'm doing it, because it's not in an area that I get really great reception. And unfortunately, my Wi-Fi doesn't go that far. So we're kind of messed with that. Hi, Rejoice. How are you? So yeah, I love you. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. I will see you guys all back here tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you're looking for anything regarding healing or awakening, go check out Sha'Ryah. I also have readings available there in astrology and tarot. There we go. All right. I'll see you guys later. Mwah. Have a wonderful day. Love you. You're welcome, Char. Thank you.